When we think of Manhattan, a lot of things come into our minds. While one of those things is a flashy lifestyle and a place that never sleeps, the other thing is the amount of wealth in that place. While Manhattan is more expensive than most places in the US, its Billionaires Row just throws everything out of the gate. So let's take a dive into New York City's Billionaires Row and learn a few things while doing so. Billionaires Row is located around 57th Street and has become a kind of enclave that symbolizes the richest of the world living there. It spreads out from Columbus Circle to almost Park Avenue. As you can imagine, that Billionaires Row has captivated the eyes of people and is a sign of this wealthy and magnificent city. It's one of the things that makes New York City special. Oh man, who wouldn't want to go and take a look at those beautiful tall towers of the building? I believe every man would like to see that marvel of a spectacle. The name Billionaires Row was given birth in the months when 157, a humongous building at 157 West 57th Street, was in development. The building 157 is 306 meters high in the sky, so you could just imagine the size of it. Despite the area having other expensive properties like the Deutsche Bank Center, it didn't achieve what it is now pre-157 period, along with 432 Park Avenue, 53 West 53rd, and 220 Central Park South. You are probably wondering, which celebrities are living in Billionaires Row in New York City? The price for what some apartments have been sold on Billionaires Row has broken records upon records for Manhattan, which is quite an accomplishment in a city of lights such as Manhattan. Back in 2019, Ken Griffith bought a home on Billionaires Row for $238 million. That was back in 2019. Now the prices have risen even much more. And if you don't already know, Ken Griffith is the guy who created the hedge fund Citadel. And I mean, how can we forget the Arab boys? Because whenever there is an expensive thing, the Arabs are gonna be there. Okay, jokes beside, the Saudi billionaire Fawaz Al-Haqirs purchased a house for $87 million, and Mitchell Dell's a $100 million penthouse. But why are there people who are against this humongous building in Manhattan? While the place is rather flashy and most people's dream, Billionaires Row has had its fair share of controversy. This is only natural because anything that is fame also had some controversy attached to it. The people living inside the buildings can enjoy a stunning view of the Central Park. However, New Yorkers that don't live inside of those buildings don't experience those views, and the high buildings also block the way of natural light from the ground level, which casts shadows on the park. When these many buildings are located in a place altogether, it will alter the skyline of the place, and they did change the skyline of Midtown. So not many are in approval of this change in landscape and the skyline. That leads us to the question, why is Billionaires Row still vacant? Like many other great real estate properties in Manhattan, most of the owners there haven't bought those pieces of properties for the sake of checking out those beautiful views on a daily basis, but to simply use it as an investment where they have a higher chance that their money won't be wasted, and they can always go back to it in case of need. Most of the buyers are foreigners that keep the apartments empty most of the time. Back in 2016, the federal government had plans to track these anonymous buyers. However, we don't have much information on how that plan has been going. All I can say is that those who own a house on Billionaires Row are a little percentage of the richest people on planet Earth. Do you think Billionaires Row is still developing? Even though there has been a quick series of development on 57th Street, the ascendancy of Billionaires Row seemed to be stagnant in 2016. The media started to write about it with titles such as, "Billionaires Row is dead." Apartments were not being sold and everything had seemed to slow down. Certain ideas, when executed, also downgraded the area's value. But then, developer Solo Management saved the day by filing plans for another skyscraper that will have both residential and commercial space. So the answer is, yes, the area is still developing. Yes, it can still fit in some more buildings worth billions. So if you are just taking a walk around the Central Park, you might see some people coming in and out of the building. And who knows, it might be a rich Arab prince or Ken Griffith. Well, we will never really know if that will happen or not. But one thing that we do know for sure is that Billionaires Row won't be going anywhere for the time being. Now that we have talked about Billionaires Row, let's take a look at some of the houses it has to offer and what they really cost. Number 1. Central Park West. Central Park West has 7 availabilities that range from $4.5 million to a whopping $35 million. The credit for this goes to elegant development to Tribeca and the financial district done by the Zeckendorf family. The two brothers Arthur and William are now leading the Zeckendorf family. Due to them, Billionaire's Row's worth got impacted quite a bit. Okay, let's look at number 2, 432 Park Avenue. 432 Park Avenue has 13 availabilities that range from $5.3 million to a mind-boggling $169 million. Wait, what? What makes this special is the beautifully designed humongous square windows and strong facades with a silky feeling. These are designed by Raphael Vinali and Harry Maclo. However, they might seem a bit boring at times until it's night and the lights are turned on. The building also has high wind vents that make it a much better and wonderful experience. Number 3, 220 Central Park South. This majestic tower covers a height of 953 feet. It is not the tallest building that Manhattan has to offer, but it still is one of the best the city has, despite not having the same lavish style like most of the other buildings on Billionaire's Row. Its architect, Robert A.M. Stern, has a way of capturing the postmodern design that makes the lavish buildings look dull in front of it. 220 Central Park South has a single availability for $85,000 a month. Number 4, 111 West 57th Street. The 111 West 57th Street has 9 availabilities ranging from $8.8 million to $66 million. It rises up to 1,428 feet in a slim body that ends up like a narrow line. It looks like a sail of a little ship. The height-to-width ratio of this beautiful building is 124. One fun fact, this 82-story building is the slimmest building in the world. Number 5, 53 West 53. The 53 West 53 is a 77-story building that has 15 availabilities ranging from $2.7 million to $64.7 million. The building ascends from the MoMA complex and it travels 1,050 feet in the skies above the Midtown streets. The architect of this marvelous building is Jean Nouvel, who took inspiration from the silhouette that would come from the drawings of architectural artist Hugh Ferris. Wed. Now I am saying goodbye, take care, and stay tuned.